Hey, what's going on? You're tuned into the Daily Geek right here on SweetGeek.tv. I'm your host, Griffin Granberg, and today is August 8th, 2008. Let's get to the geek news with story number one. GM telling their advertising agency partners to reduce their rate by 20%. They're saying, hey, we're in a bind, make our advertising dollar go farther. And people from the advertising agencies around the world, what are they saying? They're saying, GM, too little, too late. Sorry. Story number two, coming from entrepreneur.com, branding your business quickly and effectively. A very cool article. I'm including it on the interesting links below. Story number three, MySpace is moving into the social music market. iMeme's already there with 27 million users, and MySpace starting out with, of course, their huge user base. So we'll see how that ends up. I'm sure we'll be covering it in the future. Story number four, about Hasbro taking it right in the nose, because they went after these two brothers that created Scrabulous, possibly one of the most huge applications on Facebook, and they went after them, made them close it down, and then they replaced it with their own version, which is slower, more doggy, and a lot of users have pretty much revolted against Scrabble. So what's the story here? Maybe if there's already an established user base and you're having like one of the biggest years you've ever had as far as sales, thanks to Transformer toys and other really good selling things, maybe it's better to just buy the company. I don't know. Story number five, Sirius XM. After 18 months of regulator scrutiny, they have been okayed to merge, but you're not going to see much going on from them, at least not in the months coming up. They're saying the dual mode radio that they've been talking about isn't going to even be ready until early 2009. And don't even think about having dual mode in a car, because those changes take up to 3 years. Pretty crazy. What can you do in the meantime if you want, Howard Stern and Major League Baseball? Well, they're coming out with a la carte system where you can grab a few things from XM if you have Sirius, or a few things from Sirius if you have XM. That sounds pretty cool in the meantime until, dual mode's there and you can have all the channels you want. Story number six, there's a cool little thing called Google Alerts. If you already know about it, I'm sorry I have to cover this for the people that don't. Google.com/alerts, and you can put your name, you can put, SweetGeek.tv, you can go http://www.domain.com and check out who's linking to you, as it's happening, or weekly or daily. You can go set it up. It's pretty self-explanatory if you go to google.com/alerts. Story number seven, Facebook's security chief, Max Kelly, saying they're fighting the good fight. They've had a little malware problem here the last few days, but Facebook's saying they're staying up all nights, all hours of the day to get these holes plugged. Story number eight, also about Facebook and how they've tripled their users in Japan, but Mixi, MIXI.jp, is already the number one there. They're doing 12.7 million users, where Facebook only has a 500,000. Number nine, we're going to Google again. They're admitting that they're wrong, or at least not directly, but that's what the press release basically says. Google almost never admits they're wrong openly like this, but they're saying their investment in AOL that they made, which was a huge investment that basically helped value AOL at 20 billion, but today is really only worth about 10 billion. They're saying that it was a bad investment. So I just thought that was definitely worth saying. Story number 10, mobile web subscribers are going to hit 5 billion worldwide by 2011. That's a compound of 105% every year up until 2011. Infonetics Research is the one that's coming out with that study. Pretty cool. Story number 11, we talked yesterday about iPhones phoning home. I guess they're not doing as much as originally thought. All the geeks got together yesterday in a panic, in a craze. How could Apple ever do this to us? It turns out they're not necessarily doing it. The details I'm including in an article on the interesting links below. So check that out if you're really into that. That's it for the Daily Geek, our first week online with me, your host, Griffin Granberg. We won't do it over the weekend, so we'll be back on Monday. So I hope to see you then.